Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? I hope you are well. Hello, Heather. Hello, Christine. Hello, Liz. Hello, Sue, Sandra, and Jude. Drinking tea and eating cake. I hope you have saved some for me. Hi, Janet. Welcome to all 9 of you. How lovely to see you. Or see you in the virtual sense, anyway. Hopefully you're... Hi, Janice. Hopefully you're not too scared about today's subject, and if you are, we'll try and make it slightly easier for you. I'm just after my bird song. And yes, what a glorious day. Isn't it horrible and November-ish, even though it's not November yet. So it's going to be quite a nice afternoon of drawing. Good afternoon, Norma. Hi, Norman. Okay, so we'll just wait for everybody to... Hello, D. Time does that, doesn't it? 13 for dinner.
Rosemary.
Yes. I've forgotten I hadn't put it on today. So, I hope you had a good week so far, but this weather, we were just saying, it seems to be raining nearly every day for the last week.
Yeah.
And obviously you all know my roof issues at the shop, so it's sort of not ideal. Hello, Robert. I will be on Discord in a bit, I think. But I don't think we've got Anne and Chris today. Hello, Sue. No, I know. You see, it's days like this where it is a relief to be online, isn't it? I mean, it's only me. Fortunately, it wasn't really raining when I got in, but I think it will be raining still when I go home today. But yes, you can all be toasty warm with your slippers on at home. It's just me that's all dressed up. Not that you can actually see me. I could be in pyjamas and slippers, but I do have to teach. So
You're
it's,
fully dressed.
it's a little bit tricky. I've got an apron on.
As befits an Edwardian.
I will always. I'm not Edwardian. I will always have my apron on, if nothing else. A bit too chilly today for that sort of malarkey, isn't it? Put my glasses on. Hey up, Rosemary. Warrow. Oh, 14 of you. Hello, hello, hello. That's nice, isn't it? I just love this picture. Now, I dare say we won't be recreating it exactly. But it's a lovely picture to try and have a bash at, isn't it? Oh, I will say, I've seen on some artists' groups, so it's none of you lot, people that have bought the Derwent Superpoint pencil sharpener are moaning about it because it takes too much lead off and turns it into a weapon. But what they don't realise is how far you pull out the clasp that determines the length of the lead. So if people have been pulling it out all of the way, so obviously if they've got a short pencil, then half of it's lead, like stabby pointy lead, and it's not at all what it's there for. The more you pull it out, so I know a few of you got it, and I have told all of you as you were buying it, the more you pull out the clasp that holds the pencil, the longer the lead will be. So if you pull it out all the way, your lead's going to be as long as it can be, and it won't be really great for drawing with because it will be so fragile. And then you've got the art egos that just say, oh, use a knife. A knife is the proper way for artists. Is it? No. Rubbish. A knife is the proper way for artists if you can't find your pencil sharpener, I think. Because I sharpen with a knife and it looks like it's been through a bomb blast or something. It's so jagged and ragged and haphazard.
Into the sunshine.
Don't forget to put my sign up, won't you?
I'll put this on.
Not, I think I'm going to be around this afternoon.
Could have been around with people wanting to buy paper. Oh, there it is. Excellent.
Going to plug my ears in, ready for Discord. have to use the left one in my right ear since I dropped the right one in the water jar. It's very muffled. So we may have a few on Discord, have we? Ah, hello Robert, hello Rosemary. How are you both? Well, I hope. Well, yes, exactly. You have to think of the circumstances, don't you? That's all right. Right, so as you rightly said, Sue, oh my goodness, it's a figure, but it's not a full figure. But I'm not quite sure, as the lesson's all about a lamplighter, how you'd expect it not to be a figure, really, because it is a figure of a lamplighter. Right, so we will be working out how this is going to look. Now, obviously, the lamplighter and the lamppost is the main aspect, so that's what we're going to concentrate on at first. We're not going to worry about anything else, because that's the crucial part. So, Sue, Cummings, Sandra and Jude, you might have to put your cake down for a while. Or just shove it in really quickly. And scoff the lot. I'm quite jealous. What sort of cake is it? I made a banana cake the other day, again, with a bit of icing on top. Very nice. Absolutely. Okay, so we might use a bit of graphite powder, or certainly there will be smudging involved, and you might find a ruler helpful because of the straight line of the lamp. Otherwise it'll look like the lamplighter is trying to support the lamp that's falling over. I mean, it would be interesting as a drawing, but who knows. Right, so Jackie will be off in a second, so that will just leave me in charge of everything, which is always a dangerous thing to happen, as you know. But it's how it is.
Have a lovely lesson.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will.
Enjoy yourself.
Thank you for your help today. With the chaos of the delivery.
Yes.
It's sorted.
Mostly.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, thank you. Hello. Hello. Oh, it's half term. How lovely. I've been hearing some bonging going on. And I couldn't work out who was bonging at me. That's lovely to have you with us, Mr. Nick. Yes, please. Thank you. And don't make a mess. Right, so where do I begin? Do you know, I've been thinking of this, and Sue Cross, I was thinking of you with Lamplighter, and well, I'm the boss. I have to be left on my own, Sue. Nobody thinks it should happen, but it just has to happen. Sadly, I don't even think it should happen. But you know, one of your favourite songs is "Little Old Wine Drinker Me." You could adapt it to "Little Old Lamplighter Me," couldn't you? Because it would scan in the same way. Little old lamplighter me. So that would be quite fun. So I was thinking of that. I've been singing that in my head all the last hour while I was preparing certain bits. Liz says hello, Nick. Are you back, Nick? Or have you gone? He's gone again. Never mind. I've said hello to him, Nick. Liz. oh. Right, now what when we plan anything, the middle line here and the halfway line here. Our lamplighter fits well within. His sort of legs are on the midline, and the top of his head, is that about halfway? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got to move down one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1. Right, I'm just trying to work out where the middle of my page is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, I found the middle. I finally found the middle. It's a lot lower than I thought. Nah, it's more fun. So, he's from halfway down, he's about 2 fingers down. So our lamplighter, and he's about 2 fingers wide all in, apart from like the coat. So our lamplighter is going to fit within this rectangle. Good, I'm glad it's your earworm now, Sue, as well, and I have passed it on. I feel very happy with that. Is about 4 fingers in and then 2 fingers wide. Round about 4 fingers in from the left. And then he's about 2 fingers wide, and that should leave you about another 7 fingers. So I think it's always quite nice to. I'm always one for partitioning and sectioning. I'm the same in the shop. I like to have sections and zones. I love a good zone. But now I know, apart from like the angle of his coat, and I'm not drawing that in now, but you know, he will fit in that section. So I know that I can reserve that just for him. So then, around about another 2 fingers in, we've got where the lamp is. And the lamp basically goes right to the top. Oh, let's get my ruler out. Let's be fairly straight lined with it. Just so I know where that is. Now, the actual glass... What's it called, the glass thing? The lamp itself, the lantern, thank you, is about 2 fingers down and almost 3 fingers wide. It's 3 fingers, yeah, 3 fingers down. So it's two fingers down from the top and about 3 fingers down and 2 fingers wide. It's a massive thing. You forget how big lampposts and things are or were. But still they're big, because they're always so high up, aren't they? But they were bigger then. Let me just do a sort of trapezium, just to give me a rough idea of where everything is, and then get that top. I'm going to be annoyed at this because I think this feels a lot bigger than it should be, but it is what it is. Yeah, it is. Hello, Rob. 2 fingers. Yeah, I don't know why I can't. I'll just shrink my screen a little bit. I think that'll help. There you go. I forget I can do that. Yes, you are late, Rob. Sit in the corner and face the wall and wear this pointy hat, please. And put your finger on the lips. How dare you be late for my lesson, boy. It's nice to have you with me. Us. All of us. All 16. What a jolly number. It must be a rainy day. Nobody's doing any gardening or visiting National Trusts in weather like this, are we? I think. What's he been gardening? Jackie was saying about, because I haven't got a lawn. I do miss having a lawn, but she was saying it's because it's rained for so long. She can't get to cut the grass because it's just too thick and soggy. So hopefully she'll get to give it one last cut before winter hits in. Who knows? Because it's been mild though, October, hasn't it? But it's been just really soggy. So we can also see the inside of the lamp. Now the inside top is about a little finger. I'm just going to draw a little finger width, or maybe just a bit bigger than a pencil width. So let me draw that line like so. Yes. What's not central? Yes. 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 No. No. Because the pole that I've drawn isn't necessarily going to be the centre of the pole. It's just so I know where the pole's going to be. Because it's also slightly wider at the bottom than it is at the top anyway. So this is all the planning thereof. And we can see a little diagonal line. It's a huge lamp, isn't it? Yeah. So that angle comes down, and that angle comes down, and it should sort of work in that way. Let me move that over. I need to just move my lines over a fraction because I'd forgotten to add, and that's where it's good to be in the planning stage when you're doing all of this, because you're not setting anything in stone. You are planning it, which is what we need. We need to plan, and then the light is going to be there, sort of. It's good practice though. Think of the practice, because you can utilize the skills. Because you can actually see the line of the gas pipe running into this. How wide's that? It's about a thumb width down, isn't it? There. It's a bit of a contraption, this bit here, because it's where all the gas is coming from. And it's about the width of your finger. But it's also where the supports are coming from. And then there's another one that's just around there. I'll probably neaten these up, but I just need to know where to stick it all, really. No comments, please. Because we've also got the layout of the actual stick on that. That'll be about pencil width. But what I am going to do, where the actual light itself is, I'm just going to make sure I've got white paper. And that's all eradicated. Now I may not bother with the cart in this, just because it's too additional. Maybe we'll smudgy stick the children looking out the door. They're not looking at the lamplighter. They're looking at the photographer, photographing the lamplighter, because that would be more of a spectacle. It will for a bit. Now I think I've got my I think I've got the width of my lamp on this side a little bit too broad. I think it needs to be shaved off. That's better. I didn't use a ruler, you see. That's better. That's better. Well, what I've done with mine is the bit on the right, the left-hand side, the top of it should be about a pencil width. And then it narrows down to the base. But mine was a little bit too wide and it looked wrong. Yep, go for it. Let me just look. You know what? I don't think it's as wrong as you think it is. I don't think it is that wrong. You might just need to narrow the line a little bit on the far left line. Yeah, the side window, the left side window, I've had to make narrower because it just wasn't. Mine did not look right at all, and I couldn't work out what it was. But then I found out that that is what it was. So I'm just looking at the different sections of the lamp, and its knobbly bits. No, it's as I say, it's all a rough notion for now. Right, so I've had to make sure that my lamp is slightly wider at the bottom than the top, and I'm going to get rid of any confusing lines like the central line. Now, normally I wouldn't bother getting rid of it in real life, because I'd know it would just end up being darker, but what I don't want to do is confuse you with more lines than is necessary. Aren't I kind? Yeah, yes is the answer, yes. Yeah, yeah, but you need to say it with more feeling. Sort of like that. No. They are. The bubbles don't make any sense at all. They are. I suppose one of them must be the dial to turn the gas on and off. But normally they have a little ladder to lean up. This one hasn't got a ladder. And I've forgotten what were lamplighters called. They had a name, and I learnt it off Mary Poppins too, and I had to look it up. Lamplighters had a nickname, didn't they, for their job? You know, like electricians are sparkies and that kind of thing. A lamplighter was called... What's that? Leary, yes, the Learys. Yes, yes. Leary the lamplighter, Robert Louis Stevenson, yes. Yeah, I mean, you can always add the bubbles afterwards. You don't have to stick them on now. Just to give it... So obviously, I'm sorry, I forgot to say I'm using my HB/2B pencil. It's a work of art, though, this lamppost, even though it's just in a traditional Victorian terraced street. There's a few shops on it, but you can see that there's no front gardens. It's just a traditional... No, I don't know where it is. If it wasn't that foggy, I'll be able to read that cart and know where it was, but it's too foggy for me to tell. So it won't necessarily be a bad thing for us. Oh, Rosemary, while I remember, can you text me the address for the dabbler thing for the kids? Because we'll be sending them off this week. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. So, is it just a November one or a November and December? Or just November? Yeah. Yeah. Right, so we will, in a minute or two, we'll look at doing roughly his face. Now, we don't need it to look like a specific person. I finished my course at Byfield last night. That was quite nice. It was like the longest course in the world because I started it in early March. But obviously we had to finish in late March, and we started back 3 weeks ago. So it was nice on Impressionism. Oh, I've just checked what we're doing next Wednesday. It's an animal. A Highland coo. It's not a thing though, Rosemary. It's not a thing. It might just be the head. Depends what mood I'm in. Oh, this is the week for you then if you don't like straight lines. I'm like that with the calculator. Not that I try to draw straight lines with the calculator, but when I use the calculator, it doesn't always work for me because I put the numbers in. I put the numbers in wrong. I'm not a massive fan of anything mathematical. Apart from the science and maths of art, of course, which is a joy. Like perspective. Because I know how much you all love that. There is a little bit of that in this, but we can try and fudge it a little bit, depending how foggy it's going to make it. I have a funny feeling by 3:30 it's going to be extremely dense fog. Yeah. I'm just going to... What I will say is make sure your pencil lines for these things are dark enough for you to be able to see, because we're going to have to smudge everything. So just to be aware, I am going to wait in 2 minutes. I'm going to start on the figure of the man. The non-knobbly bit. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be... Am I ever a pain? Don't type, anybody, please. I'll turn comments off if so. I have that power apparently. I just noticed a button on it. I can set comment moderation. What does it say I can do? I can only allow you to comment every 10 seconds. So that's if all of you are having a good old chat. I can only allow comments over 100 characters. Over 100, yeah. Only comments over 100 characters will be shown. So that must be for like a really heavy discussion. So you can't just say yes or no. Ain't nobody got time for that during an art class. Blimey. I think we'll just leave it as it is. Yeah, we will. Yeah. Right, so our little man. His head is about a thumb width, and it fits on the top left corner of that little box that we've created. So there's his little head and his neck, and then his body sort of comes round. His shoulders are thumb width, and then that comes in and then out and then down. So he's going to look a bit like a sheet or a ghost at the moment. His arms, actually, his arm joints are about a thumb width. Or more, because he's got a hand there. There's his hand, and then he's got his fingers up here with his pole. Now I've got to try and work out. He's got a hat on as well, hasn't he? With a lovely peak. It's a bit like my dad's cap when he worked for Midland Red. I never thought they were sort of so well uniformed. Yes, you know, it's. I just imagined him looking like Bert the Chimney Sweep of Mary Poppins. Oh, so he would have had a bit like Town Crier and all of that kind of stuff then. Just trying to. No, I'm just roughly sketching out where I think they are. Let me dampen that a little bit. Because his nose, I think, he's looking up more than I've got him. But the pole's got to go right the way up to that bulb. So I'm going to have to draw the pole through his fingers like that, because it goes all the way up there to the light. Yeah, I'm going to zoom it. I'm going to get the reference image. No, sorry, the voice wasn't coming through because I haven't got the microphone on when the reference image is up. I haven't added that because I'm on my new laptop, don't forget, and I haven't added that onto that bit. So I am here. You haven't lost me. I had to go and serve a customer, so that's why I was a little bit longer leaving the reference image up. But it was just so you could see the face. I have, but then nobody can see my drawing if it's up. So it swings and roundabouts. Yeah, the pole's more important. Once you've got the pole in, then that will tell you where his hands need to be. Because if you do if you do his hands and then the pole, you might end up having a bendy pole. Well, don't worry. I would never leave you, you lot. It's just that there's no microphone in the reference image. I can add it. If you do any, I know Rosemary wants to have another look at the face and body close up. Would you all like to do that for a few minutes? Because then I'll. Right, I'm back now, so you should be able to see the lamplighter and also still hear me. I think I've got to round his shoulders up a little bit more. That's better. Have him looking up. He won't necessarily look as old as this guy. I wouldn't have minded being a lamplighter. Just putting it out there, really. If ever the job comes up. So was there a match at the end of this? What would it have been? Or a flint or that you'd have to click and it would cause a spark up there? Can almost read what that merchant's name is. Jimmy Reed. No, Jenny Reed. Johnny Reed Merchant. But it doesn't say where. He's starting to look like an Alan Alberg illustration. Right, I'm going to go back to my drawing now. Like Percy the Park Keeper, Liz, you'll know who that is. And you, Christine, probably. Right, let's get rid of any lines I don't want, and the actual lamplighter pole. That's quite big as well, isn't it? It's a lot chunkier than you think. Like that. So you know when the children's rhyme 1, 2, 3 O'Leary, that's O'Leary, not A'Leary, isn't it? That's not about a lamplighter, or is it? Because I always thought that was O'Leary, like an Irish surname. But then thinking about Learys, you know, it's amazing what we think about, isn't it? It's amazing what wonders goes through my mind when I'm. It's exactly, Robert. It is an education. It's a very polite way of putting it. Thank you. You got a cold, Nick? It's a very sudden change in the weather, though, isn't it? It's gone very cold. I think the last couple of days. I've been bunged up since March. But enough about my problems. Ah, so it's their surname is O'Leary. Right. No, well, there you go. So 10 O'Leary children in the bed. There, that makes a lot of sense. It's like this on Tom Carradine's evenings, isn't it? Because you end up digressing because he'll talk something about a song and then he'll talk about the facts as to why the song's called the song or something about it. It's really fascinating. Oh, right, yes. Yeah, that's. I think sometimes it's nice just to have that whole personal thing because when I do performing, some places they don't want you to talk at all. They just want you to just sing one song after the other. Don't even bother introducing the songs. They want you almost like um, a record or a radio show. They don't want any talking. And I always have to ask when I'm booked. Now, do you want any chat or? And they go, no, just the singing, just the singing. And I think, oh, thanks. Oh, you see, that's not fine. No, you're right. You don't want to talk too long. But I think sometimes introducing the next song or saying who originally sang it or what year it was from, I think that's just quite interesting um, rather than just starting again and another one and another one. Yeah. No, I think 6 songs in 2 hours. Gosh. 3 songs in 2 hours. Blimey. Right. It is 10. Yes. So, oh, but yeah, the poem about the Leary. Yes. So it's the gaslight. Leary's. Yes, I think he was. That's right. I've not heard that poem actually. The Robert Louis Stevenson. I haven't heard it until you just said it. So that was nice. Robert's just read us. Those of us on Discord, he's just read us the Robert Louis Stevenson poem about the lamplighter. Right. What we're going to do before cup of tea, although Sue Cummings and Sandra and Jude have been having tea and cake. They're having like high tea, afternoon tea. Have you got scones or is it just cake? Because I'm quite jealous actually. But don't you worry, I have got biscuits here. Jackie's left me a couple of those Lotus Biscoff biscuits, which are absolutely divine. So I'll be having some of those. However, what I want to do is I want to... I've got my dirty not kitchen roll, what's this? Cotton wool bud. And I want graphite powder or whatever you've got that makes a mess. And you can just... oh gosh. I've tipped too much out now. This is going to be heavy fog, folks. But the only bit I'm not going to stick it is where the glow of the light is. Oh, and this is where you'll see that all my greasy fingerprints. Look at that. That's the only problem with look at that. It's like I've done a crime scene. Goodness me. I know, I did have a donut for pudding just now, so... Accidentally, Jackie bought one. It seemed to have dropped all over my page by the amount of grease on it. You see, Christine, I think if you know, I've seen Catherine Jenkins in concert loads of times. Because I've got a soft spot for Miss Jenkins. Not so much now, but I did have. And she would talk in every in between each song, really, more to catch her breath and to make us feel worthy of paying a lot of money to go and see her. Now, I've lost his face a little bit. Just giving him his face a little bit. I didn't buy the donuts, Sue. It was purchased for me, then I accidentally ate it. But I'm sure it's graphite powder that they use. We've talked about this before, haven't we? I'm sure they use graphite powder for dusting of fingerprints. Like magnetic powder or something now, I imagine. I'm just trying to soften some of the worst affected areas. Graphite-y enough. If I go any darker, I'm going to lose my pencil lines. But if I turn my lamp off, you'll see it's a lot. There you go. Look, there's a white piece of paper. You can see it is a lot darker than you think. Light's off now. Yeah. Light off. Yes, it's off now. It's like a disco. Because obviously it doesn't like contrast, does it, a camera? So that's where it struggles. Now I ought to keep this paper handy to use and lean on, which I'm not actually doing. I'm going to go a little bit lighter around the edge of the lamp. Except where the bulb is. Well, not the bulb, but, you know, the flame. Yeah. I'm just trying to touch up and get rid of my greasy mitts. At least I don't have to sign this one, do I? It's got my fingerprints are all over it. Oh, gosh, look how filthy that is. And what do you do all the time, Norman? Accidentally eat a donut? They're very nice donuts, actually. I think they were from Gregory's. They were Gregory donuts. Yes, it is 5 to 3. Nearly time for tea. You see what I might do is there are street lamps already lit in the distance, so if I use my putty rubber I can mark where they are roughly. Yeah. I just want these to be slightly diffused lights. Oh, does it? Good. I'm glad. Has anybody else got the fingerprint issue? Yeah. Nobody likes the clever clogs, Rosemary. But you know what, I think this is, it's a good lesson for me, and I have a lot of issues. Those of you that come to my watercolour class know that I have the same issue with watercolour. Now, I didn't used to think I leaned on my work as much as I do, but obviously when you're working on watercolour, the natural oils in your skin, it blocks the watercolour paper. So if you wash over it with one, it does break down, but with one quick wash, it shows up all my finger and thumbprints. So yeah, it's amazing how much I am aware now that I lean. Oh, is no, because some of us haven't got. Is this going to say has had accidentally eaten a donut? Yeah, I know, but I didn't steal the donut. I was given the donut. Two actually. Fairly dark because it will help the lamp glow. No, well, this is it. I've always had oily skin. So what we'll do is we're actually going to tweak it in some respects, in that sort of with this scrap bit of paper, you know, there's two knobbles on your lamp. There's the left knobble and the right knobble, yeah? I'm going to put this piece of paper parallel to that, so it sort of like crosses through the knobbles. When did you accidentally eat a cheeseburger? Oh yeah, fingerprints. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap with the putty rubber. So what this should, in hopeful creativity, do, if my greasy mitts haven't totally put a kibosh on this, is it will create a bit of a cloudy atmosphere. But I'm not rubbing it out, if you notice. I am dabbing. I am dabbing, and I really hope this works. There we go. Look, can you see I've got a misty line, a cheese scone. I did wonder what a cheeseburger cone was. I thought that was quite interesting. Yeah, cross those top two lines there, and then just dab with the putty rubber, and that will lift off some graphite, not all. It will lift off some graphite, and give us a nice defined street line there. And then I'm going to do the same with this one, which it's sort of is slightly diagonal. I probably haven't got as much building on. And then let's bring that down. Well, this is easier to get straight lines, you see. That's why we're doing this. I mean, it depends how misty it is, doesn't it? So if you want it subtle, like we've got here, then that will work. Just to give us a rough idea. Now I've got all of that awful... Now actually the road is a bit paler than the land, isn't it? So technically I could... Slight angle, it's slightly narrower at the top, wider at the bottom. Now those... Where's that line? It's sort of level with his wrist. There. Oh, now I need to go that way. Because the street is slightly lighter. There. Oh, look at that. It is at the back, yeah. Because it goes round the corner, doesn't it? But also, his clothes are going to be darker. So you could actually just do this with just your pencil. But I kind of like the using a bit of paper to help us on our merry little way. Because obviously his clothes and the lamp are going to be dark, and this wall is going to be darker where the figures are. Right, I'm going to go and serve a customer as well as make a cup of coffee, so I haven't gone anywhere yet. Let me restart the bird song. Oh, I've returned. Right. Whew. Do a bit of exercise then. I've probably not got greasy hands now, but my hands are damp, so that's going to have more of an issue, I think. Let me just dry them off a bit more. Okay, so basically everything now is the dark part. Now I'm just trying to work out, my lamppost's a little bit further out from him, but the road sort of comes at that angle. I think it's a little bit more subtle than I've drawn it, but I need to see it. And then the road for the buildings, because it all kind of got a corner turn there and that sort of gives me an idea that we've got a pavement, and we've got over the road as well. Let me just lighten that, a little bit of an indent there. So he's going to be dark. Now technically it would look good with the wagon, but today's scene isn't a lamplighter with a wagon in the distance, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm not going to be nasty. No, we're not. I'm not doing the wagon. In a normal life, I probably would add the wagon if this was a watercolor class or something. But if this was a watercolor class, we wouldn't be spending all this time drawing, would we? We'd just trace it, and it would just be painted in very muted colours. I tell you, those of you that would like to add colour to this picture, it would be nice if you used, if you've got the Graphitint Derwent set, because they're very muted, soft graphite. It's liquid graphite, basically. And they're really lovely, soft, subtle colours. Now, I'm going to darken this building a little bit more with a graphite stick. I'm probably not going to put in windows and doors and stuff. But I do want to darken it, and then I'll smudgy stick it. And I may put figures in. But again, that's not what we signed up for today. Oh, it would, yes. So for those of you that have done the Monday or Thursday watercolour class over the last couple of weeks, Rosemary's husband Brian has said that this would look really nice. You know how we did the vintage couple lifting out, just with Payne's Grey? This would look really nice actually lifted out. It would work beautifully. I'm just going to smudgy stick some chimneys over the road. To get a nice building edge in the fog. A smudgy stick is just a wonderful gift. Because it just lends itself so beautifully to just windows and things, just to indicate buildings. Now I've got quite a lot of texture in this from the graphite stick, so I'm going to just have to smudge a little bit more, and maybe I am going to have to do there's just a lot of perspective in this that I don't really want to add into, because I really want to concentrate more on the lamplighter, to be honest, and the lamp. So I'll probably jump almost into a 5B or 7B, something like that. Okay. So I'll be working on the lamplighter and the lamp now for the duration. And I did nicely sharpen my pencils. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit darker, and then obviously old Leary at the front is going to be even darker still now. Yes, you can see how my pencils are getting small. I have got myself, I have put aside another tin, because they're all worn out now. So once I've done that little bit, I will start. I've outlined him. This is 5B. Sue, sorry. Yes. Yeah. was a cool light noise. What was that noise? Something gamey, was it? Because you're probably playing Animal Crossing while you're doing this class, aren't you? Is that not your thing? I don't get a chance to play much games. I used to have a wonderful computer game, and it's on my old 10-year-old laptop that I still works. And it was called Empire Earth, and it was a civilization builder. And you start from the Stone Age, and you can go right up to modern age, and it's just like a battle-y thing. And it still works on the laptop. So if ever I want to de-stress, and I've got a couple of hours spare, which is very, very rare, as you know, I might play that game, and it just makes me think of nothing else. If I'm getting annoyed at the computer game, I'm not getting annoyed at everything else in life, so it's a bonus. See, I used to do a lot of games on mobiles, but I don't do, I've never had enough capacity on there. I did try. I was obsessed with Pokemon Go when that first came out, or whatever it was, the Pokemon one. Um, but I just didn't want to hang around sites of interest catching Pokemon. I just felt a bit weird. There's a man in his, well, it would have been late 30s then. I just didn't think it was seemly. But then, when I walked through the park near the War Memorial, because that's where it's a Pokemon gym, I think, where you can train your Pokemon. There's always like loads of blokes hanging around there. So if you do feel a bit under threat when you're walking through areas like that, if it's a place, like a known place, like a war memorial or something, and there's a lot of guys hanging around, they're not threatening. They are playing Pokemon. So it's worth reminding yourself that, and then it makes you feel a lot happier. Yes. I did. It took me a while because once it came out, I was catching Pokemon in all areas of the town. Yeah. It's one of these lessons where I'm going to say, draw what you see, not what you know. So if you can't see it, don't draw it. I think I've done his eye too big. He looks too cartoon characterful. I think I need to do a bit of shading on his face. I might zoom in on this in a minute, just so you can see the right hash I'm making of this today. pole doesn't go. There we go. See, I could go darker for him and the coat and the lamp, but I don't know if it would make it any better. You know, sometimes going really dark makes a huge impact, but because this is already the darkest thing on here, in theory it should be enough. Well, it's not shaded. Unfortunately, I've got a massive streak and dark line there that I think there's a dimple in the paper, and it won't rub out. Oh yes. Oh, what's his name? It wasn't Jura, was it? Who was it that did those? Yeah, I'm just zooming in on his face for a second. Oh no, that's my phone plugged in, not my mouse. I'm probably going to go back in with the 2B. Just to give him a few cheeks. He needs to shirt. They would to him, though, the knobbly things, wouldn't they? Just hinting at actual lamppost shapes in the distance. This is the line I was on about that I can't get rid of. I need to see if I can, because it looks like we've got a comet about to hit London. It's just a dark dot, and I can't get rid. I don't even know what it is. It's just a really perfect round circle. An alien. It's from when I added the graphite powder, so it's something on that, I think. Although I might ramp it up and go 9B with him. Because I want it to feel much smoother. zoom back out again, hopefully you'll see. It kind of works. As much as I don't know. I mean, it's only half patch, just well 25 to. So I could put the children in, and I don't know if I want to, or if I'm just going to put them in using the tortillon. You see, I've got the room, but I don't know if I've got the botheration. It would add something, but then I think the cart would add something as well, and I don't know. Let's see. Because the windows and doors are so tall, aren't they? Did they have those in Liverpool and sort of like Northumberland area as well? I think, didn't they? Newcastle. I'll put my razor away, my ruler away, but I need to mark out the doorway, I think. The doorway is quite a bit higher there. Just seeing if this will look alright. Probably won't. I've just done them leaning in from the doorstep. A little bit. think that kind of... Oh, I have a customer. Back in a minute. I have returned. So how's it going? How's it looking? Atrocious or okay? Oh, good. Yeah, did you put the cart in, Nick, or no? You have. That is. Oh no, I've only got like. Right, let's do it. Let's get that cart in. Was there a horse? Oh gosh, there is a horse. Oh, I don't think I can. I don't think I've got the energy to do a horse. Let's Where's it not going to? It's actually quite high, isn't it? That back. Wow, that's impressive. Let me just see if this will work. Yeah, maybe things and insects are your thing, Rosemary. I was waiting for that. Yeah, Rosemary hates doing things and hates doing insects. Yet, ironically, they're always her best work. So, you know me. Always relish the chance to take the mick. Torment, as if I'd torment anybody. Oh yeah. No. Oh yeah, can do, yeah. Or do you want 2 December ones? Okay, yeah. Right, okay. Yeah, understood. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, I've had to put the horse in. But I did draw the cart before the horse. Need to put a little bit of shadow underneath that. Maybe smudge it up a little. This was just a challenge, so I wasn't expecting anybody to do this, by the way. Nick had actually done his, he said in my ear, so I can't be outdone by you all, as you know. But it does add something. Adds a lot of stress, that's what it adds. Yeah, it's nice to have you with us. So are you going to be with us on any of the others? Tomorrow morning is giraffes at sunset in watercolour. And that'll be the only one that you haven't done. Yeah, don't sound too overjoyed by that. I won't anticipate seeing you. Which one was that? Was that the big watercolour portrait giraffe one that we did? Oh, well, this is watercolour, so it's a little bit softer, isn't it? We'll have a think about it. No pressure. No pressure. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. That'll do. Yes, because it's very dark out there at the moment. It really is. It's not very friendly at all. But I've enjoyed doing that, actually. And I do like... The cart and the horse has sort of made a difference to the picture. It's given it a bit more scale. But obviously, as I say, I was not expecting anybody to do it. It's just because... No, it's fine. You see, I haven't used the battery eraser on this because I think it would be too harsh. And I haven't drawn any slabs on the pavement because obviously they would have been slabbed then. But it depended. I don't. You see, it's foggy, isn't it? And the more stuff you put in, the less foggy it is. So you do want to be more careful about that. But I think I'll leave it there. So next Wednesday, as I say, I'll just tell you what's coming up. So tomorrow morning is giraffes at sunset in watercolour. Thursday afternoon, sorry, is Stormy Sea Against Rocks, which will be repeated on Monday evening. Friday afternoon is A Ladybird on Forget Me Not. Nothing on Saturday. Nothing on Sunday. Monday morning is River Team in the Mist in watercolour. Monday evening is the Stormy Sea Against Rocks in watercolour. Tuesday afternoon is Rays of Sunlight Behind Trees. And then Wednesday afternoon, next Wednesday, you've got a Highland Cow. It's not heading for the shredder, is it, Liz? I'm just scrolling. No. Don't shredder it. No. But thank you so much for your coming. It's been lovely to have so many of you with me. How lovely. And now I've worked out that I missed off a microphone by setting up this broadcasting software on the new laptop. But I also know, because there's no Ethernet, that the Wi-Fi is actually good enough to stream anyway. So thank you so much for your company, and I do look forward to seeing it. I have to say, you all did such a cracking job last week of the light through the church window. Absolutely gorgeous pieces I was looking at over this last week that you've posted up. So well done for that, and I look forward just to seeing this week's before you shred them. So thanks so much, everyone. Take care, have a wonderful rest of the week and a good weekend and a happy and safe Halloween if that's your thing. Don't go trick-or-treating, but suck on a pumpkin. Yeah. Yep, will do. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem at all. That's fine. Alright, thank you very much, everybody. Bye.